All right, guys, we're talking about lesson 16 today. It's multiplication of polynomials, division of polynomials. A lot of the multiplication we've done before, it's just going to be a distributive property. The only problem is with our multiplication and division of polynomials, we've done something like this: a plus b times c plus d. And with a double and a double, or a binomial and binomial, we can use what's called the FOIL method. Do you remember using the FOIL method? First, outer, inner, last. It looks like this. If we have the first times the first, the outer on the outsides, the insides, and then the last. I like to look at this as a little face with eyebrows, ears, maybe a nose and a smiley face. It's oddly enough, it's how I remembered it as a child, but when I was learning algebra. But we used that FOIL method maybe for years. You've known about that. But when we come into a multiplication of polynomials, we're going to notice that in our first example, it's not just a binomial times a binomial, it's a binomial times a trinomial, which may make a little difference there. Not may, it does make a little difference, and you can't use necessarily the FOIL method. And so I found out the best thing for me to do personally was to use my distributive property for each term in the first polynomial first. And so what I mean by that is I have 2x here. What I need to do is I need to multiply 2x by every term in my second polynomial. So it gets multiplied here, gets multiplied here, and gets multiplied here. And so I'm going to multiply those out. I'll show you how that looks. 2x times 3x squared is going to be 6x cubed. 2x times negative 5x is going to be negative 10x squared. 2x times positive 2 is going to be plus 4x. Okay, so I got that down. That's no problem. Now what I need to do is multiply my second term by each term over here. So it gets multiplied by the first one, the second one, and the third one. So we'll go ahead and see what that looks like. 2 times 3x squared, excuse me, is 6x squared. 2 times negative 5x is going to be negative 10x, and 2 times positive 2 is going to be positive 4. Now you don't have to do it necessarily like this, lining it up like this. I do it because it makes it easy and I can just add straight down. You can put it all linear if you want to, and maybe just circle like terms or square different like terms so you can see what they look like. But this is just an easy way for me to keep up with it as I'm moving along. So I'm going to add straight down to get my answer. 6x cubed minus 4x squared, because 6 minus 10 is negative 4, minus 6x plus 4. And not only do I have it all written out like it should be right there, but I also have it in descending order like we should write our after multiplying polynomials and getting another polynomial, a longer chain polynomial. Okay. There are other examples in the book. For sake of time, we're on a little time crunch today. We're not going to go with those other examples, but because we're familiar with doing these, it's kind of like the FOIL method, but just take one at a time, one term at a time, multiply it by every term on the other side, and then go to the next term and do the same thing, and then you'll get eventually to your answer here. I want to look at division of polynomials. This is one that may take just a little while longer, and so we wanted to jump on it. Division of polynomials, I kind of backstory, I disliked math growing up. Matter of fact, I would say I loathed math growing up. I got to algebra half. If you've taken Saxon algebra or Saxon math all the way through, you know that the pre-algebra they call algebra half in Saxon, or they did. And so I got to division of polynomials. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to learn these. But once I found out there were just a few steps involved and they're repeating steps, it just intrigued me because they looked really difficult, but yet they were kind of easy to do. And so I had to go home and show my siblings, show my parents about these big, scary looking problems, but that I could work them. And so from that point on, it hit me that math could be like a puzzle. I could figure everything out that I needed to with what was given to me. So I started doing that and got excited about math, and from that point on, I took off. And so I took every math I could in school. I jumped into college and took all the math I could in college, and just enjoyed most of them. Some of them were a struggle, but I did enjoy most of them. And so who knows? This could be what tips you off and really makes you start enjoying math. Maybe not, but maybe. So let's look at this, division of polynomials. Now, it may look big and it may look scary. You may have no idea what to do because a regular division problem doesn't have two terms in the divisor, and it sure doesn't have multiple terms in the dividend. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to take it a step at a time. And so what I need to do, and there's no real hard, fast explanation what we're going to do, but I'm going to start with putting my number above the second term here. And my goal to start off with is I need to put something right here that multiplies to x that's going to match my first term. You say, what are you talking about? Well, I need something times x that equals 5x cubed. What times x equals 5x cubed? Well, hopefully you said 5x squared. 5x squared times x is 5x cubed. Does that make sense? Once we do that, I also have to take my 5x squared, multiply it by the next term, the negative 4. And so 5x squared times negative 4 is negative 20x squared. Well, what do we do from there? Once we get that negative 20x squared, we're going to do what we do with every division problem. We're going to subtract. But let's look at this first term here. But these two have the same signs. I can't really subtract that. So what I want to do is I want to change signs for both of those. And so now the 5x minus 5x, of course, gives us a 0 here. Then we have negative 2 plus 20. Well, that's going to be an 18x squared. Bring down my next term, plus 5x. And then I'm going to repeat the process all over again. What times x gives me 18x squared? Well, it's going to be a positive 18x. 18x times x is 18x squared. I'm going to keep with my red pen now, marker. 18x times negative 4. Now what's 18 times negative 4? That one's a pretty hard one to come up with. 72. So 18 times 4 gives us a negative 72x, a negative because the negative right here. And then subtract like we did before. Remember, we always have to change that bottom sign. Okay, so now we have a 5 plus 72. Oh, these cancel to 0. 5 plus 72 is 77x. Drop that 2. So 77x plus 2. Repeat the process all over again. What times x gives me 77x? Yep, 77. 77 times x is 77x. 77 times 4. Man, that's a big one. 70 times 4 is 280. 7 times 4 is 28. Well, 280 plus 28 is 308. By the way, it's a negative, because 77 times negative 4, negative 308. Change my signs again. The 77x cancels. 2 plus 308 is 310. Okay, so what do I do with that? I don't have any other dividend to bring down. So my 310 gets brought up here like a remainder. So it's going to be plus 310 over my divisor, 10x minus 4. And that's it. 5x squared plus 18x plus 77 plus 310 over x minus 4. All right, I want to look at the next problem real quick. It's and I set it up here just so you can see. It says negative 6 plus, I failed to mention this. I need to go back here. I had this set up for you before we even started. Whenever we write our divisor and our dividend, they have to be written in descending order. That means the highest variable term first, x cubed, and then x squared, and then x, and then no x. Same way with our divisor. If you don't, it's going to mess things up and you'll get thrown off a little bit. So down here, you notice that if we did that, if we wrote them in descending order, our dividend especially, we would just have x cubed minus 6. And so why do I have these written in here? Well, we explain it right here. If I'm walking down a set of stairs, it's easy for me to walk step to step to step to step. However, let's say I'm at the top stairs and somebody took out the 2 or 3 middle steps. and I wanted to take this step right here. That can be real dangerous. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is take it step by step by step by step. The same way goes with our dividend. We want to go from x cubed to x squared to x to no x. You say, but there is no x squared or x in the problem. That I understand. And that being the case, we're going to put 0x squared, 0x. And then we work it out as we did before. I don't have time to work that out for you, but it works out the same way as we did up here. I just wanted to show you how to set it up, and then you can work it out just like we did up here in your book. Can also show you how to work those out as well. If you get stuck on this, or if you need any help, by all means let me know. You can leave a comment. I'd be glad to help you out with those and do my best there. But remember, stuff like this can give you that excitement for math, and hopefully it does. And once you figure these out, take it to somebody, show them how easy for you these may be, although they may look scary. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.